Welcome to the first, thank you, the first of my sessions this afternoon called The Art of Time. Interesting, quite a number of people have come along to see this session. You're obviously here for a variety of reasons, one of which will be that you've all got some kind of issue or problem with the management of time. Not enough hours in the week, too much work to do, those sorts of things. Well, we're going to run through a whole load of things this afternoon. Some of them will be new. Some of the things that you'll hear will be very familiar. You'll probably be thinking at certain points, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. That sounds like a good idea, but I couldn't possibly do that. Okay? Well, the answer is you can, and we're going to show you how this afternoon. But more on that business to do with I can't do things, yeah? I don't have the time to do this. When you say those words, the first lesson in time management is you're actually telling a lie. You're actually telling a lie. What you're actually saying is I don't want to do that now because compared to the other things that I have to do, it's not of a sufficient priority for me to do it now. Yeah? So never say to people that you haven't got the time. Yeah? Understand what the priority of what it is they're asking you to do, and then react accordingly. Yeah, time management is really hard, isn't it? There's all sorts of things going on. There's all the priorities that we've got to handle, juggling those around, making trade-offs. Well, which job is more important than which when a rush job comes in? What am I going to do with everything else that I was supposed to do today? My day was already full. How do I reprioritize? How do I make trade-offs? There's all the issues to do with overload, everything that's coming in all at once, yeah, all around you. Sheerly just remembering all the stuff that's going on, yeah, forgetting things can be one reason, or simply just coping with it all. How do I make sense of everything that I have to do? There's always the famous unexpected, the emergency job, the call from out of the blue. I need a quote for this tomorrow. I need it this afternoon. Somebody at work, a member of staff. Hello, David. Time management. I'll be speaking to you later.
It's Tim's fault.
Oh, really? Yeah. Blame it on somebody else. Second rule of time management. Okay. Yeah, there's always the unexpected as well that comes into things. There's the psychology and social norms around it all. Somebody comes and wants you to do something for them. You feel obliged to help them out, don't you? Because you want to be helpful. You want to be nice. This issue, about being human. Okay? Like it or not, we all do the stuff that we like and find easy in preference to the stuff that we don't and find difficult. It is a natural human trait to do those sorts of things. So subconsciously, we're always juggling our priorities to suit that aim. And we're also not particularly good at using our best times. Some people are good in the morning, as they say. Some people are good in the evening. Yeah? Some people are good at other times. Well, your most creative times are your best times. You shouldn't be using those times for doing mundane chores and repetitive, uninteresting, low value add tasks. And we'll talk a bit more about that as we go on. And then, the old technology angle. In the old days, it used to be a telephone and the post. Now it's the telephone, it's the post, it's email, it's texts, it's social media sites. It's all kinds of ways that people can now reach you. More people can reach you in more ways than ever before about all sorts of things. And it's no wonder we all end up pressured for time. The issue is clock time is actually irrelevant. Yeah? The hours in the day are actually irrelevant when thinking about managing your time. The most important component of thinking about time management is real time, the time that you experience in your head. What's the difference? Clock time is fixed. Yeah? A second takes so long. There are 60 seconds in a minute, and so on and so on. 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week, and so on. And by virtue of that, it's also finite. Whereas real time changes speed. Yeah? Real time changes speed. How we perceive time moves around, and it's variable as a result of that. Have you ever heard the phrase, time flies when you're having fun, drags when you're doing your taxes? Or more accurately, to be honest with you, it's time flies when your attention is engaged and doesn't when you're really finding something rather tedious. So, why does that happen? Why does that happen? Well, a lot of people talk about the fact that we've all got a body clock. We actually don't have a body clock that works in the way that you'd expect. Our perception of time is mainly around how we interpret all our other senses. And it's impacted a lot by things like our mood, how we're feeling, how tired we are, our rhythms during the day, you know, whether it's just after lunch and we're feeling rather sluggish, first thing in the morning and we're feeling rather bright. The nature of the task, which I mentioned before, the situation that we're in. This is an absolutely must bloody do now task. Gets your attention pretty fast. Versus, oh, this is a task I could pretty much do any time I like task. And it varies with age. And it's said the older you get, the faster time goes by for you. So, thinking about that, would anyone like to stab a guess at how productive they feel they are in their working day? Yeah? In your job, how productive do you think you are? 30%. About 30%, okay. Fair enough, about 30%. Anybody think that they're a lot more productive in their working day? I think they're probably a bit less than 2. Thank you for the honesty. Thank you for the honesty. Do we have a third answer from anyone? Don't have to? Well, it varies on the day, but on average, most workers, we'll call them, most workers, people in jobs, are about 54% productive. And that takes out things like lunch breaks and those sorts of things, which is a staggeringly low proportion. It would never be 100, but you'd think it'd be a bit more than 50. And most people would tend to be somewhat shocked at that. And it's, again, it's all to do with our perception. In actual fact, you don't know whether you're 30%. It's what you think you are, yeah.
Just know that I can do so much more.
Yeah. Now, just as an aside, who thinks that they are fully utilised and productive at the moment, but still pressed for time? Does anyone in the room think that there's nothing more that they could do there on top of their game?
I think everybody has days like it, but every day's like it. I certainly have days like that.
Okay, fair enough. Because one of the things you can do, one of the quickest ways you can free up your time, there's two things. Anyone like to guess what they are? No social media. No social media. Now I'm thinking about resources. I'm thinking about employing more people. Yeah? It's a classic way. If you've got too much work to do, employ some more people. Pardon?
Delegate.
Delegate it, exactly. Delegate the stuff you do to other people. Of course, you've got to employ them to do that in the first place. But what about the other one? What about putting up prices? Well, that's effectively what you're doing. That's effectively what you're doing, isn't it? You're using price as a means to govern what comes in. Now, for those of you who saw what I spoke about first of all this morning, instant profit, yeah, that's all about the fact that in actual fact that price rise, those customers you lose will be more than offset by the price, the increased profit you'll make by putting your prices up.
Yeah, I can vouch for that.
There we go. Thank you very much. He wasn't paid. The tenner's in the post.
But I'll make you pay at the bar later.
All right, fair enough.
I'll second that as well. Yeah, especially if there's a tenner in it.
But it's a legitimate angle on time management. Legitimate angle on time management. It doesn't have to be all about fancy techniques and so on. It can be as simple as, well, in actual fact, the time has come for me to take on more staff. Or if you can't afford that, then you're obviously not charging the right amount for the work that you do. So put some prices up. But returning back to what we're talking about, you can't manage time. It's finite. It's fixed. You can't create more of it. Yeah, there are only so many hours in the day. What you can do is manage your productivity within the time that you have. Okay? What you can also do is manage how you experience time. Yeah? So you feel less rushed around doing things. And what you can also do is improve your sense of control of your time. And that's what we're going to look today at, because the art of time is essentially managing all of those three things at once. Okay. The good news is it's all around simple techniques. As I said before, a lot of this will be things that you've heard before. Sorry, it will be stuff that you've heard before, but there are in here some things that you won't. The bad news, well, we'll have a look in a minute about that. The question is, ultimately, do you value your time enough? Are you here for a quick fix, yeah? Or do you really value your time enough to take on time management for what it really is? And we'll come to talk about that more at the end, but essentially it is another job, and it is another job you need to hold yourself accountable to. And that might be something that you've not done for a long time.